Welcome back to new week. It's Monday, so yeah, welcome back to the new week. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lee Johnson, and here we talk about magic and witchcraft and mysticism and all such good things. And today I wanted to cover something within protection magic called the decoy. Welcome to my channel. You are entering the world of magic and mysticism with your host, Lee W. Johnson. Keep the lights on and help improve the channel by becoming a supporter for just $2.99 per month. Hit the join button. Alright then, so the decoy. Now, we can actually take some lessons from nature here, which I think if we look at nature more often, there's a lot of lessons we can actually learn from animals and plants and everything else. But specifically with this one, the one that comes to mind is a bird that we have here in South Africa. Well, Johannesburg anyway. I'm not sure how far throughout South Africa it actually reaches, but probably the whole of South Africa. But anyway, I'm in Joburg. And we have a bird here that is usually commonly called the kiwit or the kiwit. Its common name is the spotted thickney or the Cape thickney. I think it's also called the spotted dickop. Dickop, something like that. Anyway, there is also another bird which is very similar, which is the crowned lapwing or the plover. Some people actually refer to this as the sand plover, which has kind of a crown on the top, but the kiwit is actually spotted. Now, I say similar because they are often seen together. They act similarly. What they do with their nesting and their breeding stuff is, as far as I know, exactly the same. They both make nests on the ground, and they lay their eggs in those ground nests. Now, the lesson that I like to take from this is, as I said, we're going to talk about magical protection today, and specifically the decoy. Now, what you'll find is, or what I learned from these birds, is that what they do is they lay their eggs on the ground in a particular spot. Then, for a large distance, a large radius around that nest, they will actually guard that area. And what they do is, anybody who lives in Joburg or lives in South Africa and has experienced these birds will know, when you start getting close to their territory, they will actually dive bomb you. If they do hit you, it would be by accident. They are very skilled at dive bombing and missing, but it's a way of actually steering you away from their territory. So they actually come along, they dive bomb, and they attack you from these sky kind of dive bombs. That they come really close as well. I mean, you can actually hear their wings, hear them fly past you as they kind of just miss your head. This is actually the way they protect their nest. Now, I mentioned a large area. With this whole dive bombing process, what they're actually doing is, one, they're trying to steer you away from their territory. But the area that they're actually doing this is not where the nest is. It's actually further away. And this is acting as a decoy. And by that, what I mean is that the birds will start dive bombing potential prey, making the prey think that the nest is there, where they're actually protecting that space, that particular area. It could be like hundreds of meters away, but they're protecting this specific area to act as a decoy, so that the prey thinks that that's where the nest is, and then the prey will start hunting that area, and they're far, far away from the actual nest. So this is the whole decoy aspect, and this comes into magic quite well, actually, in usually the case of the witch bottle. Now, I know a lot of people talk about the witch bottle or the magic bottle, and that what they'll do is they'll they'll do something for prosperity or something and put items in a bottle and then seal it up with wax. First of all, don't do that, because as soon as you seal that bottle up, the energy stagnates. It doesn't move. And when you're doing prosperity, you want that energy to move. But when we're talking about a witch bottle, we're talking about a protective aspect. There are two ways that I've learnt the witch bottle can be used. So first of all, as a decoy, and secondly, as a counterattack to a witch that is attacking you. So the first one is the decoy. What you want to do is you want to take a bottle. Traditionally it was either a glass or a ceramic bottle, and then you put in nails, pins and needles. Okay. Now some people will say it has to be 9 nails, 9 pins, 9 needles. Other people will just disregard that completely. The idea here is to actually create almost like a mesh inside the bottle. So you don't have to put too many, you don't have to like fill it up with nails or anything. But they kind of haphazardly go into the bottle and they create this kind of mesh. The reason for that is that the spirit that comes along, or the energy that comes along to actually attack you, then gets tangled in this kind of maze, in this web of these all these needles and pins and everything else. You can put in fish hooks, razor blades, broken glass, all such things that kind of act as that kind of nasty cut, pierce, stab type of energy. But the main reason for doing this is to create this maze where the energy or the spirit goes into and gets trapped and can't get out again. Okay. Then what you do is you add your urine. Now, why do you add urine? Because that's the decoy part. If you are being psychically attacked, what you want to do is cause the attack, and that could be a particular spirit which is sent to you. It could be an energy from somebody who is trying to attack you. Whatever that is. You want to cause that to go to the bottle, to the decoy, instead of yourself. So you use urine to act as that decoy because it's from you, it has your DNA. Now people have asked me in the past, can I use blood, can I use semen, can I use hair clippings, nail clippings and all of this stuff? No, don't. Use waste products. You just want to use waste products here. You don't want to use anything which could create life or sustain life or anything like that. Just waste products. So urine is the perfect option here. And then you put in the pins and the needles and the nails, and then you put in your urine and you seal it. And then what you usually do is you bury it in your garden somewhere, and quite often up the front path leading up to the actual front door, because that's where energy kind of flows in. It's quite an interesting thing, because when we're talking about ghosts or spirits or energies, a wall doesn't stop them or a window doesn't stop them. But if you think of things like energy flow, energy movement, going into feng shui, for instance, it always flows towards a house and enters a house through the front door. That's just where the energy actually flows. So this is what we're kind of aiming for here, is to trap the energy before it actually gets into the house. Okay. Now this is obviously a house protection method. When you're in the house, the witch bottle will act as a decoy. And then instead of the energy reaching you, it will first enter the actual witch bottle itself. So you bury that under the ground. And another way that some people look at this is when the witch that is attacking you steps over that bottle that's buried under the ground, harm comes to them to the point where they can actually die. But that's the decoy. So the energy goes into the bottle before it reaches you. Okay, and then it gets trapped in the maze of pins and needles and everything else. The other way I know of using the witch bottle is as a counterattack, which isn't really a decoy aspect. It's very different actually, because what you do is you do exactly the same thing. You add in the spiky and sharp objects, and then you add your urine in. The urine acts as kind of a sympathetic magical aspect to connect to the witch that is attacking you, or the person that is attacking you. And then what you do is you put it in a fire and you boil it. And that's said to cause the attacker's bladder to actually boil, which can cause a lot of pain to the point of death again. But that's different to the actual decoy aspect. Now, if we look at this idea of creating a decoy out of your urine, so it is the energy or the spirit of the attack actually gets attracted to that before it reaches you, then this is very much sympathetic magic. So what you could do, you could create a poppet for exactly the same purpose. And this is when we start to look at things like mirror boxes, where you may be causing the attack to causing the attack to come and reach the poppet before it actually reaches you, and then you can either reflect that energy back to them, that return to sender type of aspect, or you can take that energy and transform it into something different and then absorb it. But the poppet aspect acts as the decoy. Another way I know I learnt over the years of doing this, I only used this method once though, because it's a bit taxing, is to create astral decoys. This is very specific to if you are being attacked astrally, and not specifically psychically, but very specifically astrally. If the person is proficient in the astral realm and they are affecting you astrally or through dreaming or something like that, this obviously will only last for a particular period of time. But what you can do is you can astrally duplicate yourself multiple times and then just send them out. And what happens is, while you are trying to do the repair work or the healing work or whatever work you're trying to accomplish, before the attacker actually gets to you, that attacker starts going through these decoys. But the problem is they attack the decoy, and as soon as they realize it's not the actual you, then it kind of goes poof until they hit the next one, then the next one, the next one. So create multiple ones, and then until they finally get to you. But by that time, hopefully you have done the work you need to do, and you've put up your shields again, put up your protection, so they can't actually get to you. So that's a bit different. That's probably a bit more advanced, and for somebody who is more proficient on or working with the astral. So there are various ways you can probably think of doing this. It's a case of creating a decoy which causes the energy of the attack to be attracted to that before it reaches you. Really as simple as that. So whatever way you can think of doing that, try it out. Give it a test, do an experiment with it, see if it works, and as always, experiment, record, and learn. All right. So that's it for this week, and this particular video. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one until then. Cheers. Bye-bye.